Hello. Hi, beautiful Earth Angels. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Earth Angels Unite, podcast 126. This is about the second pillar, embody divine benevolence. So, your body is the truth teller and divine technology. It measures the weight of your thoughts and emotions, guiding you back to love. As earth angels, we anchor in source by honoring the body's wisdom, its rhythms, needs, and sacred signals. When you cherish your body, both physically and spiritually, you naturally embody divine kindness, compassion, and benevolence. And so hi, Kate. These podcasts are designed to support you in receiving love from your angels. They're a space of transformation. So, my goal is that you come one person and you leave transformed. You leave another person. And we do this by shining the light on the wounds, the issues in the tissues, really on the pain, bringing it to the light for healing, bringing it to the light for transformation. And in these podcasts, I'll be sharing teachings from my debut book, Receiving from Your Angels, 4 Practices to Heal Your Pain with Angel Love. I'm actually kind of matching it today, my color. And, a teaching, an activation, an oracle card to help you to relax and cherish your body, to trust your intuition to the next level, to receive angelic pain relief. So I want to welcome everyone who, thank you, angels. So my name is Jill Kemper, angel coach and author. As an angel coach, what I help my clients do is to heal the pain in their bodies with the love of the angels. So basically, whatever pain you have, whether that pain is physical or emotional. And when I say pain, understand that I also mean dis-ease, right? If you've been diagnosed with diabetes, an autoimmune issue, the cancer, some sort of cancer, orthopedic issues, all of that, I'm clumping under the category of pain, right? So every issue in the tissue has medicine, has a teaching, has a gift. And when we bring in the light of the angels, the light of the divine, the light of source, and shine it on that issue in the tissue, on that wound, we bring it out of the shadows and the shame and the contraction that we feel about it, that we're experiencing, and we bring it to the light for healing, for dissolution, for transformation. So that's what I do. And it's an absolute pleasure and an honor. We do this through the relax, release, receive process outlined in my debut book. And I'm here on these podcasts sharing medicine from my book, sharing medicine from my coaching practice and my coaching programs. So thank you, Angel. So I want to welcome everyone who will be here live today. Hi, Lauren, and everyone who's going to connect with the replay. Please trust that we're all here together. Whenever you connect with this. So we're in this, we just ended like multiple portals, right? I think today is like the last day of the Lionsgate, right? So we had a powerful full moon, the Lionsgate portal, Mercury retrograde, which seemed like it lasted for 3,000 years. Raise your hand if that felt like a really long retrograde. So we're Mercury direct. We're on the other side of that full moon. We're that Lionsgate portal's beginning to close. So it's a powerful day, and we welcome. What I'm hearing the angels say is we welcome your beautiful soul to highlight from today what resonates and what lands for you. And we trust that, right? Your angels will highlight it. Your soul will highlight the teachings for you, the medicine for you. So thank you, angels, for saying that. So we're talking about these golden guidelines, right? The 4 pillars of the earth angel. And these pillars came to me. It's like I've known about them and they've kind of been in the back of my mind, but then when I really like sat with it, I was like, oh, these are the pillars of the earth angel. And remember, earth angels are highly sensitive, highly intuitive souls, right? Beautiful empaths. We often consider ourselves to be light workers, medicine people, healers, trailblazers. And we can sense energy beyond normal human limits, right? We've got all of our clairs are open, our energy body is activated wherever you are on that journey for yourself. And we're feeling things at a very deep level. And without these golden guidelines, without our team of angels, it can feel like an onslaught, right? Without like really healthy, pristine boundaries. This hypersensitivity, this hyper awareness, this hyper, intense intuitive downloads without these pillars can make us feel like we're kind of going crazy sometimes. So let me know if that resonates. So the golden guidelines, these pillars. Pillar 1, be a channel of unconditional love. And that's what we talked about last week. And although these have been sort of behind the scenes, I guess, I realized that I needed to start talking about them and also start talking about when I feel these really got anchored in to my system, which was during my mom's cancer journey. So I've been talking about that. Last week was very emotional. So we'll see, but I have my tissues just in case. So pillar 1 is be a channel of unconditional love. Pillar 2, which is what we're talking about today, is embody the benevolence of the divine. Pillar 3 is energy body activation, or what I like to say, walk with an awareness of your energy body, which we'll talk about in 2 weeks, because I won't be here next week live. And then pillar 4 is trust. Trust the divine plan, trust your body, trust your soul, trust the angels have your back. So, we heal pain by treating our body as sacred and choosing gentleness over judgment. So the body is the vessel. The body is the home of your soul, right? And what do we say? The body is the barometer, right? Measuring the weight of our thoughts and feelings. So we know if our thoughts are in alignment with our highest path, with our soul, with our angels, because of how it feels in the body. And we're reclaiming that inner GPS by honoring the body's, cherishing the body, honoring the body's needs. And what I do with my coaching programs is I shine this light onto that dis-ease. We shine the angel light, divine light, source light, all of that onto that issue in the tissue and bring it to the surface so that it can be seen, heard, understood, respected, and possibly transformed. And I've seen this time and time again with multiple issues that I've worked with my clients. So, So I think one of the reasons the pillar, embody the benevolence of the divine, is so important to me is because I spent much of my life in the shadow of it, right? I became a massage therapist in part because I craved relaxation. I never felt truly relaxed as a child. Actually, it was funny because, I was always sort of hyper, like, I'm a Sagittarian, so I have a lot of energy. I'm an extrovert, all of that. But as I reflect back, I realized that yes, I was hyper and I had a lot of energy. And I would just laugh because people would be like, "You're a massage therapist?" Like, really? Yeah, you can relax anybody, because I was just I talk fast, I thought fast. But now just holding me and my past self in such compassion, realizing that a lot of that was a trauma response, right? It was an overactive, hyper vigilant nervous system. And as I've been applying the energy medicine, that was one of my cards today, energy healing work. As I've been applying all the tools, right? Because I'm one of those teachers that uses all the tools. Every tool that I share with you, every tool that I gift to you, every tool that I teach to you, I use myself. I'm calming down, right? And of course, some of it, age and growth and wisdom and all of that. But it's because of the energy healing work, and the healing of the connection with the angels. So download. So back to my mom, talk about my mom a little bit. So my mom was constantly nervous and stressed, which is also, if you think about how we mirror our parents, right? Energy. There was, me kind of showing her how nervous and stressed she was. She was worried about money. She was worried about, my brother and I. She was working her butt off as a waitress before she became a nurse. This is when I was a child. She was fighting with my dad. We constantly moved from apartment to apartment to apartment. I went to 6 grammar schools and lived in 10 apartments before my dad passed away. There was this underlying anxiety that we were never safe, right? Or stable. So the idea of relaxation, because embody the benevolence of the divine, is connected with the relax and cherish your body practice. The idea of relaxation and helping others relax became this guiding force in my life because it was something I deeply needed and rarely experienced. So really, even before I had like language for this, embodying the benevolence of the divine, right? Embodying divine benevolence, I was seeking it. Isn't that cool? So years later, hi, welcome. Say hi if you're here. So years later, during my mom's cancer journey, I'm just listening for a second. Thank you. Okay. That longing for relaxation took on a whole new depth. Her tumor caused relentless gut pain, and the bile drains that she had to, I guess, wear, if you will, were uncomfortable and a constant reminder of her illness. And it's interesting because, I was thinking about this earlier and it was like, I know it's not a healthy thought and I want the angels to take it, but I also think there's power in expressing it and there's a dissolution in it. And it was like, the thought was, no matter what I do, she's still going to die. And I know that's healing now, and it was funny because I was doing yoga and that thought kept coming to me and I was like, I don't want I don't want to think that. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to, but I was like, oh my God, that was one of my thoughts during that time. So it was really painful. So as much as those drains extended her life, they also made comfort nearly impossible. So watching her endure such intense suffering brought up the shadow of this pillar for me, which we'll talk a little bit about. Craving to feel relaxed myself and wanting so desperately to help her feel, a moment of ease in her body. So it was especially hard because I knew my mom, like this pillar, understanding this pillar, embodying this pillar, anchoring this pillar in, was difficult because my mom had struggled to love her body most of her life. Her childhood was marked with, emotional abuse and being exiled in her family. Also, and as an adult, right, she faced poverty, the murder of my dad, the strain of raising 2 kids alone. So after Dylan's accident, which was in 2018, the end of 2018, she had really bad PTSD. Now, I think there was an accumulation of it because she was diagnosed with lupus sometime in her 40s, I think. So she already had an autoimmune issue. And, she was never truly relaxed again after that. And I believe the chronic stress, along with the decades of pushing herself past her limits, contributed to the cancer. Her body eventually, paid the price, bore the toll of it. So through it all, I was learning something important, that embodying the benevolence of the divine isn't about escaping pain. It's about creating islands of kindness and comfort and love for the body, even in the midst of suffering. And that's why practice number 2, relax and cherish your body, right? And the 4 levels of relaxation, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, is so powerful. And this is something I used to say all the time. Relaxation is not a luxury, right? It's a gateway. It's a gateway to angelic pain relief. Because when we can relax on all those levels, we become super receptive and super conductive to the love that's already there, right? It's, what do I always say? The angels always say, it's not like sometimes the angels are sending you love and sometimes they're not sending you love, right? They're always sending you love. And it's just it's not the love that changes. It's your perception of the love. And when I had that thought that I just said to you, no matter what I do, she's going to die, right? Well, that was blocking my body from relaxing. That was blocking. That's, I think, why the angels brought it to the surface today to heal. Like, whoa, right? That was a thought that did not serve me. That was a thought that was a cloud. Does that make sense? So relaxation is the gateway to angelic pain relief and a way to honor your body as the vessel of your soul, no matter what's happening in your life or your health. So to embody divine benevolence is to bring love and kindness and the compassion of source fully into your physical body. I mean, even just saying it out loud sounds like a great idea. It's like, that sounds like a great idea. Yeah. And then, like, well, how do we do that, right? It's about making the way that you treat, listen to, and care for your body a living expression of divine kindness. That's what it means. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm going to talk a little bit about what it's not, what it is, some examples. So embodying the benevolence of the divine, right? What it's not is punishing yourself or your body when it doesn't look, feel, or perform the way you think it should. Right? Pushing yourself past your limits for all the different reasons. Sometimes it's a test of worthiness or strength. Sometimes it's just because you think that's all you can do. My mom did that a lot, pushing herself. Ignoring or overriding your body's signals in the name of productivity or powering through. This was something interesting, and it just came up with one of my fellow colleagues. Treating rest as laziness, rather than as a necessary part of your healing and spiritual alignment. Right? Judging your need to rest and relax as being lazy or unproductive, or that you're not good enough, right? It's, embodying divine benevolence is not withholding kindness for yourself until you meet some imagined standard, right? Like, I'll love myself when I've lost 10 pounds. I'll love myself when I don't have cystic acne anymore. I'll love myself when my knee feels better. It's like, whoa, no. Right? So what is it? Right? It's honoring your body as the vessel of your soul, as we've named, treating it as a sacred space. Relaxing into love rather than pushing through that pain, fear, or stress. Relaxing into love, right? Nourishing yourself on all levels, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, right? Why is more and more of us gravitating towards holistic, medicine, is because we're body, mind, heart, and spirit. And we know that our thoughts are affecting our body, right? That actually our thoughts are creating our feelings, right? Our feelings are the magnet that are drawing the experiences to us. So law of attraction says, get into the feeling state of what you want, and then you're in energetic alignment with what you want. And actually, you might not even want the thing, you just want the feeling. So then you already have it. What about that? So it's, embodying divine benevolence is listening to your body's cues and respecting them as divine guidance. That goes with the clairsentience channel, right? And choosing gentleness over judgment in how you speak, touch, and move your body. Isn't that beautiful? I really love that. So I wanted to listen because I thought I heard the angels say something. So some examples in real life, right? What it's not, right? Forcing yourself to work out while you're injured because you should. Actually, it was funny. I got this idea that I should start running. So I ran once and I was in so much pain afterward. And I was like, I got to keep doing it. And my chiropractor was like, why? Like, your body obviously doesn't like running. Like, there's a million other things you can do. Like, and I was like, yeah, I just had got it in my head that like I wanted to get stronger and lose weight. And I thought, I need to sweat and all this stuff. So anyway, I found other ways to do it, but it was, even I do that, right? It's not skipping meals or sleep to keep up with demands. It's not talking harshly to your body when it's in pain or doesn't look a certain way. I can raise my hand to that. Work very diligently on changing that. It's not taking on more than you can handle just to prove that you can. Right? This is all the ego trappings. Yeah. It's not dismissing fatigue, headaches, tension as no big deal and pushing through. Like, wow, like, oh my gosh. So what are some examples in real life of how we can work with this powerful pillar, right? We can say no to an extra event so we can rest or relax or do self-care. We can eat a nourishing meal instead of skipping lunch to work or rushing and eating, drive through. Laying down on a warm blanket with your hand on your heart, if and when anxiety or pain flares, right? Allowing yourself to feel, to cry without trying to fix it immediately, right? Letting the emotion surface and letting it flow without figuring out how to get out of it. Actually, we get out of it faster if we just let it flow. And receiving healing, massage, acupuncture, chiropractic, energy healing without guilt. Let's add that in, right? Without guilt. So this pillar, again, as I said, is directly connected to practice number 2, relax and cherish your body, which is the foundation of the work I do with my clients. If I only had one word to describe what I do, I would say relax, right? Relaxation. Like that's what I help people do, because when we relax physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, it's like we open up, we allow, we surrender, we open up to the love, the healing, the wisdom that's present for us. So it's really shifting from that overactive ego thinking mind into the loving, intuitive feeling heart over and over and over again. Not that, and we really want them to be synced, right? We want the heart and mind to be one. We want the heart and mind to connect, right? We want to make space for all of our emotions. We want to have the courage to surrender what is not ours. We want to honor the tiny little tensions and pains, headaches, or upset stomach. Honor all of that as we said, messages. Right? So I guide my clients to explore these beautiful levels of relaxation, knowing it's a gateway to their relief. And that looks different for everyone. But it's a gift. It's a gift that you give yourself. Taking the time every day to slow down, taking the time every day to listen, taking the time every day to soften and relax. So I'm an entrepreneur, I work from home, and I own my own business. And so I get to make my own schedule. And every day I, do, from 9 to 10, I'm doing this, 10 to 11, I'm doing this, whatever I'm doing that day. Today's a little bit of a lighter day. And I could go back and look at all these, because I send it to the family so they kind of know what I'm doing. Because, when's mom free? When's she with a client? Blah, blah, blah. And I can go back and look at the past, however many, and I'll put relax in there. Sometimes it's 4 to 5, sometimes it's 4:30 to 5, depending on how much time I have, what I have going on in the evening, blah, 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 blah. But I always make time to do myself Reiki. And now I've been integrating the mantra mala, body blessing, into my afternoon practice, right? So I have a morning practice that gets me ready for the day. And then I have sort of like getting ready for the second half of the day practice. And I'm really excited about the mantra and mala class that's coming up on Wednesday, August 20th. I'm going to be talking about Green Tara, the Swift Liberator, her amazing, powerful mantra that heals viruses from the body. Om Tare Tu Tare Today Soha, and then share 108 body blessing with you as we follow along on the mala beads. You can take this class without a mala because you can still read all of these. You can read all the 108, body blessings, right? And read and chant her mantra, right? But it can be powerful to also have the mala as you're grounding the divine, right? We're bringing our soul into our body, our angels into our body, angels love, and taking the time to nourish who we are, the miracle of who we are, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So I invite you to join us. I am offering a free ticket to anybody who enrolls. I'm working with this. If anybody could say a prayer for me around the tech piece of that, because I already set up a PayPal integrated link. So it's a little tricky, but I know Archangel Michael will help me. So I'm saying that here to all of you. Please, angels. All right. So when we relax physically, the body can begin to heal. When we relax emotionally, the heart opens to receive. When we relax mentally, the mind quiets enough to hear that divine guidance. And when we relax spiritually, we reconnect with the truth of who we are. We surrender the heaviness of that dis-ease, right? Whether it's physical or emotional. And then there's this opening to let the light pour in, the love pour in, the wisdom pour in, the transformation, right? The deeper meaning, right? We always want to ask, what lesson am I learning from this pain? And I think we're always, what I've found in my field work and with my clients is we have a part that's afraid to ask that, because the core wound is what we might think we're going to hear is that we're not loved, we're not good enough, right? We're the core wound of all wounds that all the other wounds stem from is that we're separate from source, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, that's the opposite of what you're going to hear when you ask, what lesson am I learning from this pain? Right? So whether it's knee pain or gut pain or head pain or shoulder pain, right? Or, deep grief, anger, betrayal, hurt, right? There's always a gift inside of that. So I hope that helps. And that's what I do with my clients, right? It's like, oh, there's a gift in this pain. Let's relax, let's relax, release, receive, and get that message and get that medicine and have the relief you need, the relief you deserve. Because when you're here's what the angels are saying really loudly, when you're in that state of relief, that's when you're in alignment with your soul and with your soul's mission and your higher purpose. Like, oh my gosh, like I knew that but like, that's so clear, right? So that's why embody the benevolence of the divine is so important. So remember that we're a divine being, right? A soul having a human experience. I was talking about that last night in Oracle Monday. So for many of my clients, learning to relax is a radical shift, right? They spent years pushing through the pain, ignoring their body's signals, withholding kindness from themselves until they deserve it. Through guided meditation, gentle body awareness, and angelic connection, they begin to embody the benevolence of the divine, not just as an idea in our heads, but as a lived daily experience. Like, how beautiful is that? So this is where the magic happens, right? Pain begins to soften, energy flows freely. My clients start treating their bodies as sacred vessels rather than problems to be fixed. Like, how beautiful is that, right? And from that place, healing accelerates on all levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And so if you're ready to experience this in your own life, you can hire me as your angel coach. I have a free consult. It's called the Angelic Pain Relief Consult. And so here's what I'm confident about. Confident about two things. The first thing I'm confident about is that your angels, and I'm talking directly to you, if you're here, if you're watching this, know how to heal your pain. The second thing I'm confident about is I have the tools, the messages, the medicine, and the modalities to help you to access that answer. So in the Angelic Pain Relief Consult, it's a free consult over Zoom, about an hour. It's a heartfelt space. It's a compassionate space where I'm listening to you and your angels. There's nothing you have to do to prepare for this. You just have to show up. And I know it can be vulnerable to bring your pain to the light. So you're held in this beautiful sacred container of love and compassion. and I'm going to share what your pain is really about. We often think it's one thing, but it's really something else. I'm going to share what your angels are saying about your pain, which is going to bring instant relief. And then based on what we talked about in the consult, I'm going to pull an archangel for you that's going to walk by your side on your healing journey. And then if we're a good fit, I'll share the details of my coaching program with you. I have several openings in my August calendar for these consults, and I'd love to have that conversation with you. And again, I know how vulnerable it can be, you know, and oftentimes we have so many protectors, and we've you know, built up all these walls and barriers that it can feel really scary to say, okay, I'm finally gonna look at this, right? Because again, we're afraid of that core wound, right? That we're separate from source, that somehow we're bad or wrong or not good enough to receive this love. So, you know, I'm just dispelling that fear. None of that is true. So I'm going to pull a card for you, but let's just take a couple breaths. And I'm hearing the angels say, just to breathe and soften and welcome your angels to surround you. Know that they're always here, but when we ask, thank you for guiding, surrounding, directing, and protecting me with your love and light, that we feel and sense their presence on a deeper level. And saying, I embody divine benevolence. I embody divine benevolence. And then one more time, I embody divine benevolence. And letting that beautiful benevolence, kindness, compassion flood into your body, directly into that point of pain, wherever it is. And maybe there's multiple places. Whether it's physical or emotional, you deserve this love. And this is who you are. So we're going to ask your beautiful soul, your beautiful body, your angels, what is one thing or action? What's one thing you want me to do less of this week to embody the benevolence of the divine, to embody divine benevolence? What's one thing you want me to do less of or take out or even stop just this week? Okay. So my angel said, stop, right? Worrying, stop judging. And what's one thing that you're guiding me to do more of? And immediately I heard drink more water, which I know that. And I also feeling and sensing, right? So what's one thing you want me to do or do more of this week so I can embody this pillar number 2, embody divine benevolence, embody the benevolence of the divine. And just listen to your heart, your body, your angels that are sending you so much love right now, so much compassion, so much benevolence. Drink more water and you know, keep up with my mantra mala practice, which of course I love, love, love. So I'm going to pull a card for you and then we will be done. So let's see. Oh, I just get so excited because there's so many really guided to the Archangel Oracle deck. I haven't used this one in my podcast in a while. Okay, so how is it that you are embodying the divine benevolence this week with so much love and compassion for yourself? What archangel is going to help us? Oh, I get a lot of them were jumping up. Beautiful Zadkiel, compassion. This goes with my fuel this week, which is self-compassion. So I love that it says, soften your heart with respect to the situation and all the people involved, including yourself. So Zadkiel is the angel of the violet flame. In my book, he is the angel of compassion. and helping you to relax your mind. So I feel like his message is like, get out of the overthinking, right? Ego driven mind and drop into the softness of your heart, drop into the softness in your belly and have it's compassion. So what is synchronicity, especially for me, being that this is my fuel this week. And I was thinking about Zadkiel in connection to one of my clients. And I was like, oh yeah, I felt like Zadkiel was around her, working with her and all of that. So that's another synchronicity. So welcoming also the violet flame as a tool of transformation, just bringing that violet flame either right in front of you and putting all the pain in there, or bringing the violet flame inside of your heart and letting that pain dissolve there. So whatever your guidance is, trust it. And so I won't be back next week for a podcast, but I will be doing the mantra and mala class. So I have openings in that class. I'd love to see you. And there's a lot of wonderful offerings that I have coming up. I have a 999 nervous system refresh. Oh my gosh. There's an invitation video on my website, and also on YouTube. You can check out. I have an in-person retreat, women's retreat, Angels and Intuition. That was an amazing experience in June. So I'm leading it again in September 21st in Grays Lake. So all that information's on my website. And then I'll be doing another book group and healing circle with my book baby. I would love for you to join us. It was such an amazing experience last time. I'm really looking forward to the Earth Angels that are going to gather and read my book together and really heal, right? We're going to set a very crystal clear intention, and that starts in October 8th, I think. Yeah, that starts in October. And we're going to journey through the practices in my book and dig in and heal, dig in and release, dig in and receive. And it's going to be a really, really amazing experience. So all that information's on my website, jillkempnerhealing.com. Please, angels, remind me to put the consult and all the links in the comments later. And I'll see you soon. Mwah. Lots of love, everyone. Bye. Work with Zadkiel this week. Compassion, compassion, compassion. Namaste. Bye, Lauren. Bye, Kate. Thank you.